Welcome to part 2 of the Geoff and Mike duck tutorial. Now we're on round 6 of the duck, so go ahead and take out your stitch marker and reinsert your hook. For round 6, we are just going to be doing a single crochet in every single stitch around. So first make your first single crochet and then mark that stitch. And then we're going to carry on making one stitch in every stitch around the whole circle. So we're all done increasing. So in the next stitch, make a single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and just keep on doing that all the way around the circle. And I will meet you back once we're back at the stitch marker. Okay, we're coming up on the last stitch of the round. So for the next 4 rounds, rounds 7 to 10, we are also going to be doing one single crochet around the circle. So again, take out your stitch marker, make your first single crochet, and then mark that stitch. And then for the rest of round 7, we are just making a single crochet in each stitch around the brown circle. So we're now on round 8. So remove your stitch marker, make the first stitch of round 8, which is again a single crochet, and mark that stitch. And now for rounds 8 to 10, I'm going to speed up this part, but again, all we're doing is making a single crochet in each stitch around. If you're counting your stitches, you should be counting 30 stitches in all of these rounds. And don't forget to remove your stitch marker at the end of each round and place it back at the first stitch of the new round. We're coming up on the end of round 10 and we are going to stop one stitch before the stitch marker. So you see there's one stitch left in the round here. We're going to insert our hook and only complete half the single crochet. So stop here. We're going to do a color change. So now that there's 2 loops on your hook, grab the white yarn and pull the white yarn through the 2 loops that are on your hook. And that is a color change and also completed the single crochet. So now go ahead and remove your stitch marker. And round 11 is going to be in white, a single crochet around the circle. And now with the white yarn, make a single crochet in the next stitch. And now we're going to secure our color change in place by tying the 2 strings of yarn behind in a knot. So mark that stitch that we just made and then grab the 2 tails and make a double knot. That's going to make sure that they don't come unraveled. And you can go ahead and trim the brown yarn here as well. Again, if you're making a yellow duck, just completely ignore this and continue on with yellow the whole way through. So now we're going to make a single crochet around the brown circle in white. So just keep carrying on making a single crochet around. Coming up on the last few stitches of this round, we're going to be doing another color change. So the stitch right before the stitch marker here, we're gonna stop halfway through the single crochet. So you can cut the white yarn here and grab the green yarn. And now pull the green yarn through the 2 white loops that are on your hook, like so, and then you can take out your stitch marker and continue on like normal. So with the green, make the first single crochet of the next round. And then I like to stop here and double knot the white and green yarn together to make sure they don't come unraveled. You can also mark that green stitch, and that marks the beginning of this round. And now, same thing like normal, we are going to be doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, now in green. So we are coming up on the end of round 12 and rounds 13 to 17. So the next 5 rounds are also going to be 1 single crochet in every stitch around. I'm going to speed up this part, and don't forget to remove your stitch marker at the end of each round and move it to the next round. And I will meet you back once you've done 5 more rounds of green. So we're coming up onto the last few stitches of round 17. And once we're done this round, we are going to stop and add the face on our duck. So I'm just gonna make the first stitch of the next round here. So 1 single crochet, and then I'm gonna mark it with my stitch marker. And now I'm gonna pause and add the eyes and the beak. So grab your safety eyes from your Yarny Box kit, and on the opposite side of your stitch marker, we're gonna pop in these safety eyes. I like to place my eyes about 2 rows down from the top, or about 2 rows up from the white. So just make sure they are symmetrical and on the same row. And don't put them too far apart. Once you're happy with the placement, you can pop on the backs of the safety eyes. And then grab the yellow or orange scrap yarn that's in your Yarny Box kit and thread your yarn needle with it, like so. Making sure your yarn needle's in the middle. And then choose 2 holes that are centered between the eyes to pop in your needle like this. Make sure it's even between the eyes. And then pull the yarn through. And you're gonna pop your hook back in the same hole that it's coming out of, like this. So right back in there. And pull through, and that's a super simple way to create a super cute beak. I'm gonna do the exact same thing again because I want the beak to be a little bit more pronounced, so I'm gonna go over it twice. And then I'm going to cut the yellow yarn away from the yarn needle. Now take the other ends that are hanging out of the duck and pop them in your yarn needle and put them through the same hole that they're coming out of. And then you can double knot all of those yellow ends together in the back to secure it and make sure the beak doesn't come undone. Just make sure you're happy with the beak placement before you do this. You can always undo it if you don't like how it looks. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing with the pink yarn that's in your kit to make blush. This is optional, but I think it adds a cute little flair to your duck. So if you want it to have blush, all you have to do is poke your needle in beside the eye. I like to do about 1 stitch only, so pretty short. And do the exact same thing that we did for the beak. And again, to make it a little bit more pronounced, I'm gonna do this twice. And then you can cut the ends and double knot them in the back, and then do the exact same thing on the other side. Just make sure the blush is symmetrical on both sides. It can be a little tricky to do that. Once you're done double knotting everything, I like to just trim the ends of all these pieces so that it's a little bit easier to stuff it later on, but you don't have to do this. I just think it's a little bit neater. And then once everything is secure, you are ready to move on to part 3. In part 3, we're gonna finish off the top of the head and make the wings. I'll see you there.